Welcome back, Kittitas Valley Sports Talk fans. I am Eric Sorensen, joined by John Goudat and Luke Olson. Episode 15, the Bart Starr episode, fellas.
Bart Starr, that's a world-famous jersey there. Pat Mahomes will probably make number 15 even that much more famous.
A future Hall of Famer if he continues on. Maybe, yeah.
So Hall of Famer Bart Starr, and he's a Hall of Famer in my fantasy league. Pat Mahomes got me a lot of points this year.
He's fun, and you know one thing I do like about Pat Mahomes is he was a 2 or 3 sport athlete, and you can tell because he makes some middle infield passes. Looks like, it's a little short arm, no looks, backhands and whatnot. And what a great player! And we're back to another episode here, fellas, and a big week of sports ahead of us. And how was your weekend? Are you guys ready for? Was your weekend good? And are you ready for Christmas coming up?
Am I ready?
Yes.
Are you ever?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm ready to roll because I'm ready because I got my shopping done. And when I say I got my shopping done, it's really my wife.
Do you want to leak any presents?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
you'll find out. You'll really find out if they listen or not.
What's that?
You'll find out if your family listens to this.
I don't really have a need for anything. I'm more about the experiences of everything. So
right.
In terms of tangible gifts, man, I got nothing. I really couldn't think of anything. But in terms of like a gift that's like an experience, I would say road trip up and down the coast, I guess.
Yeah.
Starting, Forks and ending San Diego.
That would be a blast. Luke, you ready for Christmas? You got all your shopping done?
Yeah, I'm pretty close. Yeah, got a lot of it done over the weekend.
Thank God for Amazon.
Yeah, that's very true. Comes in like a day or two.
Yeah. Well, and props to the people at the post office, because if you had gone there lately, you know that. I drove by today, and it's Tuesday, the 17th. As we're recording, and the line was out the door to get your packages picked up or mailed. So,
wow.
Props to the people working there.
Not me. Luckily, all the stuff that would need to be sent, I'm seeing everybody either this weekend or next weekend, so I don't have to play the post office game or the UPS game.
Here's a little secret I'm going to give out. Go to the Kittitas post office.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no one there ever.
No one there.
It's the best.
Or there's a line. It's 2 people long.
And it's wonderful. I'm not a line person. Well, let's talk a little.
Way to ruin the secret.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'll let you know when not to go. That means when I'm going. So, I guess if you guys have the Daily Record, you're seeing Luke's great articles, and you've got to interview some pretty cool people this year so far. And tell us about the latest one. You interviewed Tanner Swanson, a guy that he actually coached me one year at Central, and he's had a heck of a career, a local Quillen guy. And how cool is that interview?
Oh, it was really cool. Yeah, Cole Canier of actually my boss as well mentioned, that he heard, the Roslyn native Tanner Swanson took a job with the Yankees, and then Cole Canier not long after reached out and gave me his contact info. So yeah, I got a hold of him, and we talked a lot about. I learned a lot about his catching philosophies and how he's really changing the game with that. He kind of, there's so much stuff. It's hard. You have to read the article. My article is pretty long, but he has like this one knee setup, how you're able to, pitch frame a lot better, and it helps blocking and throwing. But he was a really nice guy, and I got to talk to some of his former UW catchers. Some of them are in the pros, and yeah, it was pretty unique. Yeah.
I was just mesmerized by it's more than just pitching and catching. It's just the strategy that goes with like the framing of the pitch and just the absolute communication. It's so clear to me that there's just so much that the casual fan will never understand or know about baseball. And that's the gist of the story that I got. Plus, it's a local guy who clearly is a hot commodity. So that's good.
Yeah, when the Yankees come calling, that means they've done something right.
Yeah.
You check him out on all his social media. D1 Catching is what it's called. He revolutionized the game of catching, that's for sure.
I agree.
And if you have a young kid that's a baseball player, check him out, look it up, because knowledge is power, and he has a lot of stuff online that your kid can get better just by looking at what he has on the Twitter and the Instagram. I don't know if he has Facebook.
Did you say the Twitter?
The Twitter.
You sound like my father-in-law.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, you're welcome. That was a good one. So what else happened this weekend, fellas? We had a big weekend of sports. The Seahawks won. I love this.
Hey, I was watching the Seahawks game, but I think I will fully admit I watched more intently the the Atlanta San Francisco game.
That was awesome, wasn't it? I listened on the radio.
Did you?
Wasn't that cool?
So I will admit to watching it. My brother has a better cell phone than I do, and we were watching it at a family dinner. So took a little bit of heat from that, but the end result was the Seahawks got the number 1 seed.
Dang right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Are you the guy that's you're having to control your emotions at a family dinner when a touchdown scored? So people.
It was relatively subdued, only because it was trending in the right direction. Although I would say, Atlanta had that touchdown that got called back. I thought the one that got called back looked better than the one they actually counted.
Oh, seriously.
But
they both look good to every Seahawks fan.
Yeah, well, yeah, every fan would be like, yeah, that's good. Give them both of them. So,
but yeah,
I mean, I live in. When the Seahawks win or lose, it doesn't ruin or make my day. But I will say, It's good that they're now in the driver's seat, and now it's just not having a letdown against Arizona and that game against San Francisco on the 29th. If you're selling those tickets, man, oh man, you could probably pick whatever price you want, you will buy them. I'll watch it from the confines of my comfortable couch. So
for free.
What's that?
For free?
For free.
Yeah.
Yep. And high def. Yeah.
I'll be watching it.
The beer's cheaper at my house than it is at the Clink.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get tickets for this Sunday, but it's I think the cheapest one I found is $150.
Yeah.
Up in the top.
The very top.
And
you can get the standing room ones.
That might be okay. It's cold.
Where would the standing room ones be? Just on the edges?
Just below the 300 level, and then if the tunnels, leave, there's spots in between. I don't know. It's not that fun. I mean,
yeah.
You don't have a seat, so.
Would you buy those?
No. I got to sit down.
And you stand the whole game anyways, so.
That's actually a very valid point, because you really only sit down at halftime.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase the question, because I already know what the answer is on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Would you buy those if our wives said, hey, I want to go too, and it's cool if we stand up? All of a sudden, I can probably justify that purchase.
Yeah, probably. Paige is going to go with if we buy the tickets. Let's have to.
But she's going to want something to sit down.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, the look I might get, because it is kind of today's our anniversary, 3 years.
That's right. We're spending your anniversary
podcasting.
Yeah.
All right. She's pumped. No, I took her to lunch. I went to the Palace.
Paige, my hat is off to you for being able to survive this guy for that amount of time.
She's a saint. Everybody set out, punted my coverage, so I agree with them.
Yeah.
But, I already took her to dinner, and actually we saw the Linfield basketball team go to the Palace to enjoy
really
their lunch before the game today. They played Central tonight. And,
Linfield.
Cheese potato soup on a cold day. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Turkey Hero, no tomato. So
no tomato. Huh?
No tomato. Not a tomato fan.
We're gonna talk about things that happened over the weekend. We got to talk about Minor Brothers.
Yes.
Brady and Riley. They finished 5th in the world.
Mm-hmm.
A little over $200,000 won and on the season, and I usually don't get in the habit of talking about people's salaries, but since that's how they dictate the world standings. I mean,
public knowledge.
They won about $207,000, and
at the NFR alone, or
over their career they won, or over the season they won $110,000 at the NFR, using just kind of nice round numbers, and placed in 7 rounds. I think only one other team placed in as many rounds as they did. Wow. So. Had a little bit of ups and downs. Was it the 5th round when they had that judge hang that flag on him and wouldn't drop the flag for a while? But of course, the next round they won the round and $26,000, and so the NFR is incredibly fun to watch. I was watching it every day on TV, but it's It's one of those things we've talked about it before. You got to get there at least once.
Oh yeah.
Even Luke.
He
Luke
needs to
would
go.
appreciate it.
I tweeted about it. Remember?
That's right.
did.
Yes, that's right. That's
I'm
right.
a rodeo fan, folks.
Yeah.
Luke Olson tweeting rodeo.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, really got him over the hump.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
How many? Not to talk too long on this, but I guess. But how many guys have been that consecutive years? I guess Brady's been there longer.
Brady's been there
Riley,
11
but-
times since 06, and then the brothers have been there together 10 times.
I mean, that's along with people with the names of, like,
Yeah, I
Cody
mean-
Old, you got the Joe.
Yeah,
Peters,
so-
the Miners are right there with
The miners are right there, and team ropers. I mean, obviously there's wear and tear on your body, but not to the level of a rough stock rider. So team ropers, you see those guys, roping into their 40s. They're still competitive in their 40s, and Brady's birthday. This is weird that I know this, but Brady's birthday was yesterday, Monday the 16th.
Happy birthday, Brady.
So he's 35, and Riley's 31. So they've got another decade or so if they want, as long as the drive is there and the horses are there to, get there, I don't know, another 5 to 10 times, really.
leaving a pretty good legacy with that name in themselves.
What's that?
And they're leaving a really good legacy for themselves in that
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see them, winning the world title requires a little bit of luck, requires good horses. Both of their horses are incredible. Riley's horse is named Bob, and Riley said Bob changed his career totally 5 years ago. Shug for Brady, just an incredible heel horse. Shug is, I can't think of Brady's old horse that won heel horse of the year. Ray, twice I think it is. And so, anyway, I think they got a lot of staying power. But if there's a team that has been together as long as they have, man, it's very few and far between.
Yeah. When's the circuit final? That's January.
10th, 11th, and 12th.
I think we need to get Luke down there.
Yeah, well, I'll
In
be there.
attendance.
I'll be there all
Yeah?
3 days.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm telling you
Cool.
what, that's
Saw Jake Pratt.
Jake Pratt will be there. Minor Brothers be there. Guys like Jake Minor, Cass Kaiser, Jason Minor. So kind of a minor family reunion. I think Wade Kane will be there in the Saddle Bronc, another Ellensburg guy. So it'll be. It's always a fun event, and that kind of cures my NFR hangover. You're just so jacked up from the NFR that you want to get into more rodeo, and I like the circuit finals in January. I used to like them in November, but I think I like them better in January.
Yeah. I think it's pretty safe to say a lot of people in Ellensburg got caught up on their DVR on Sunday and
Yep.
Monday because
Yep.
that's something not much to watch besides that going on right now. So
Yeah. So how does that? So you called, obviously I don't know if everybody knows, but you're the rodeo correspondent for the Daily Record.
Yep.
And how long you been doing that?
Well, let's see. I got hired by the Daily Record in May of 2000, and then when I left the newspaper full time, I've been writing from 04. And they're like, hey, can you just help us out writing a little bit of rodeo? And that was, as the rodeo columnist, that was 15 years ago, and you haven't told me to stop yet. So that's up to you if you want me to keep writing.
Yeah. So you've developed relationships with these guys, like the miners. So you got to know them over the last.
Yeah,
years,
shoot. I mean, I get, I won't lie, I get a little bit of a starstruck fanboy a little bit, but, nice to know that if I need to get a hold of guys like 24-time world champion, 25 now, world champion Trevor Brazil, or guys like Tuff Cooper, or Shane Hanchey, Sage Kimsey, who's on our podcast and everything like that. That's really cool, and that accessibility to them. I mean, nobody has that accessibility. Nobody at my level has this similar accessibility to like LeBron James or Miggy Cabrera or anybody. So plus I just like rodeo. I never competed, but there's something that struck me about rodeo that I just really, really enjoy.
You did compete twice.
Well, I mean, shoot.
you're our in-house bull rider.
Yeah. I mean, my bull riding career lasted about 0.38 seconds
Longer than mine.
over 2 rides, and So thank you. I mean, I know you laughed when he said I competed. I pretended not to hear the laughter, but yeah, I guess you could say I'm a retired cowboy now.
So after the, each round, were you able just to send Brady or whoever a text and be like, hey, give me a call when you get a chance?
Yeah,
or?
I mean, with guys like them, they know that, I've been talking with them for, ever since May of 2000, I guess. And so they know that I'm going to call them. And so sometimes we'll shoot each other texts. One night, one of my interviews he was at a concert, Riley. He goes, hey, can you text me the questions rather than call me because I'm sitting here and enjoying a concert? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So, I mean, they usually when I'm talking to them, I don't try to waste their time too much. And usually they're, cooling down horses, or they're traveling to and from hotels, or they're going to gold buckle presentations after the 6th round. So they're always busy. It's just nice to be able to talk to them, and they've always given me whatever time I need. And I'm really thankful for that. That's one of the reasons why it keeps me going is just my accessibility hasn't changed, and guys like to talk, and that rapport, hopefully I've never abused it and continue to develop it. And that's why I think why guys like Sage Kimsey and Tyson Durfee were on our podcast 2 weeks ago, and that's why they keep on answering my phone calls. So yeah,
it's cool. Yeah.
Well, I got nothing else.
All right,
plenty of basketball to talk about too.
We got lots of stuff to talk about. There was a pretty big weekend of sports, and I did see our great sponsor, Fitterers Furniture. I'm sorry if you didn't get in there in time, but all the nutcrackers have been found.
All the nutcrackers are taken, right?
So you can't get
I
your
heard
free
about
gift
that.
card. You should have got there.
Should have gotten there.
Oh, man. But go in there and check those guys out. Let them know that Kittitas Valley Sports Talk sent you. And,
Yep.
And, we certainly appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate them sponsoring us. And let's make sure we link the two together and give them as much support and business as we can. Well, we'll be right back after this brief message from Fitterers Furniture. If you haven't listened to this ad yet, it's hilarious. It's
perfect.
It still cracks me up every single time I listen to it. And we'll be right back with the scoreboard, brought to you by Fitterers Furniture.
Fitterers Furniture presents a poem for the season from Mr. Brad Fitterer.
Thank you. 'Twas the holiday season, and all through the store, the staff was real busy with customers and more. There were couches and tables and lamps all around, with savings and prices the best in the town. But the reason I write this is simple, you see, to wish you the best from my staff and from me.
Thanking all of their customers.
Wait, I'm not done.
And wishing all of you the best for the holiday season.
I have more.
Quality furniture since 1896.
Hey, I spent a lot of time writing this.
Fitterers Furniture in Ellensburg.
We're back. Scoreboard brought to you by Fitterers Furniture, and we have some breaking news. It is December
really gonna do it.
17th, 3:53. We're doing it. What's our breaking news today? Luke?
Well, I'm going to introduce
John?
it.
John's
I'm going
got
to
it.
have Luke talk about it, but I was just getting on wildcatsports.com. Looks like we got a new head softball coach, Allison Mitchell.
From Redmond High School.
She's got an extensive high school background, but then also
Some club.
the club team. So she's sending all her club players to SEC and Pac-12 and Big Sky schools. So this might be her first college job, but she's no stranger to college talent. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good, because I didn't want to wait too long.
Yeah, I was really curious what they were going to do, if they were going to wait till the season was over or do it now, and they answered it.
Yeah.
Hopefully she can continue the program's upward trajectory.
Well, she definitely hit the ground running, because as soon as you're back from winter break, which the kids are on right now, you're in full. People don't realize that college baseball and softball start practice the 1st of January, or in January. So.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the field house, as Coach Story told us. Gosh, that was probably 2 or 3 months ago now.
Yeah, that was in
He was
September.
one of our
October.
first guests, right?
It was.
Was he our first guest?
We were just newbies.
We didn't know what we were doing.
Not at all.
We weren't the veterans we are now.
We kept losing audio.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Doesn't
We
happen
don't have to
anymore.
talk about that. That's behind the scenes stuff.
We're doing it better now. Scoreboard. Let's talk some scoreboard. That was breaking news brought to you by Kittitas Valley Sports Talk, sponsored by Fitterers. So let everybody know that we
There
have
we go.
breaking sports
That's
news.
right.
Yeah.
As long as it happens on the day we record. That's the local basketball scene's going on, getting hot and heavy right before the winter break. Cleellum boys and girls both lost to Nat Cheese, but then they bounced back. The boys beat Bickleton 71-16 in a whooping on
I'd say that's convincing.
yesterday, I believe. And Monday, yeah. And the girls, Cleon girls, played Seattle Academy and beat them 53-49 yesterday.
Close game. Yeah. I think Grace Terrell had 29 points, and she had 27 the night before.
That's what. Dang.
So she's just an all-around athlete. It's just,
She is. That reminds me of a guy named Eric Sorensen, who
I've
was
sucked at
a man
basketball.
amongst boys in the high school ranks. So
I was the bruiser
But
in
you-
basketball,
but
John.
You set screens, right?
Set screens, miss shots, try to get a rebound or two.
Cause a fight or two.
Yeah. Hey, I never lost a loose ball on the ground.
good. Hey,
There's a pretty good picture of me pulling Day Landon up over top of me. But it was my ball. We became friends later in life. Yeah, that Grace 27 points there against Natchez. And let's see. Hallie Hink scored 7. Ariana Lombardi scored 11 that night.
Yeah.
But they looks like they both, boys and girls, travel to LaSalle on Friday, and they are home against Goldendale Saturday. That LaSalle matchup for the girls is a tough one.
that'll be interesting. LaSalle girls basketball is pretty good.
Didn't they lose the
Undefeated
state
last year, I
title
believe?
again? Or they won the state title last year.
Yep.
Yes. But they lost last week. It was the matchup up in Kashmir. They lost to the Kashmir girls, I believe. So they're coming off a big loss. Maybe there'll be a
Interesting.
letdown for them. And they got beat by the
Of course,
Ailey Van
Cashmere's
Lith,
got
Van Lith girl who's
Yeah.
going to Louisville, which is nice.
she's a talent.
It'd be nice to coach that on your team. We don't have anything on the Cleveland wrestling unless Luke's seen something.
I have
Not
no.
yet. But we'll have to get in with them on that here soon. Ellensburg, let's see. Boys got their first win. They beat Wapato 56-44, and I have it written down here somewhere.
And Wapato is, they're not known for their football or anything like that, but they're actually a pretty decent basketball school. I mean,
Yeah.
typically they're one of the better teams in the CWAC. So good
Pretty-
victory.
Did they make state? I know they knocked Ellensburg out of districts.
I remember
Yeah.
that. So
Really surprised, but
I don't know if I'd call that revenge because it's regular season stuff rather than playoff stuff. But hey, a win's a win.
yeah.
And Prosser, weren't they? I think the Yakima Herald picked them to win the CWAC.
They're the team to beat. Yeah. I thought-
Yeah, of course they kind of got embarrassed by Ephrata in the first
Yeah.
week of the year, but
They dropped their game to Ellensburg, lost to Prosser earlier in the week. But if you're on the Twitter sphere and you can find the Riley Perez lobbing one off the backboard to freshman Gavin Mars, slamming it down. Oh my gosh. Did you guys get to see that on there?
not. I will check the Twitter.
It was cool. For a freshman in high school, that was
You're lobbing it off the backboard, whether you're a freshman or you're
Yeah,
30
it was
years
awesome.
old. It's awesome.
It was pretty neat. That one needs to get sent to Sports Center because that would have been a Sports Center top
Yeah.
10 in my opinion from what I saw. Looked like sophomore JT Fens had a heck of a game there tonight too.
Yeah, I think he only took 4 threes and he made all of them. But he's gonna be pretty good. They have the Gavin Mars kid, freshman. I mean, he's 6'7". He could be
Wow.
really, really good. I mean, he's only starting because of some injuries, but obviously he's gonna be used a lot this season. But yeah, so
Well, any guy you can have come through and throw down like that, it's got to be a pretty dominating force inside for those guys.
yeah,
It is too bad. I was reading your article. They do have some injuries coming or happening right now.
yeah. So Tony Graham said Hunter Gibson is out for the season. But and
Wow.
then, yeah,
Ouch.
so that's gonna hurt. But
Hopefully he's back for baseball.
yeah, and then Ryan Ferguson got mono, so he's just kind of waiting.
Dang it.
So yeah, it's been a rough start for the boys, but I think there's talent and there's I mean they have a future, with a couple of younger guys. So even Hunter Gibson's, I believe it's his cousin. I think it's Bailey Gibson's brother, Cade Gibson.
Yes.
Cade, yeah.
He's
yeah.
starting for the Ellensburg, and he's capable of hitting the 3.
He's a little scrappy dude, man.
He's small, but I
He's
mean
a
he's so
Kittitas
young.
kid for
He's
a
young.
That's
so
cool.
I think it's going to look good in the near future. I don't know how this. Well, you never know. So they'll just have to click more as a team.
Well, the girls are sitting undefeated right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they play tonight against Eisenhower.
Oh, wow. Where's that at?
It's here.
Is
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
That might be a game. If you're listening to this first thing, get out to Helensburg. That'd be a good
That's
matchup
right.
to watch.
Yeah. They're 4A. Eisenhower. They're 4A, right?
4A, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big school.
The
Big
girls
school.
beat Grandview, Prosser, and Wapato last week.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Those are all 3 good teams too.
Very much.
So I think they kind of Shows where Ellensburg girls are at within the conference
Yeah.
early.
No, they're kind of, in my opinion, the favorite going on. Ellensburg Wrestling, wow, what a weekend. Ellensburg Wrestling headed over to the Wilfong Invite in Puyallup. They finished first place in a 12-team tournament in Puyallup, where they were only team from the east side. The top 3 teams was Ellensburg, Prairie, and Puyallup. I'm going to go through a list of guys here. If I say your name wrong, I apologize. Looks like there's some brothers going on here. It's kind of awesome. But 106 weight, Jack Eiler finished first. The 113, Tyson Holloway finished second. 126 weight, Christian Davis was first. 145, Wade Weaver was fourth. 152, Cole Weaver was second. 160, Corgan Smith finished third. 170 was Lorenzo Gonzalez in first. And the 182 was Henry Reinhardt in second. What a showing by Ellensburg out over there on the west side. That's pretty awesome.
That is good.
And they're missing the heavyweight. They need like a 220 or something.
Okay.
And they don't have that, so
Wow.
and they're winning without that weight class. So
I didn't have anything written down where they're going to be this week.
they are hosting Prosser and Ephrata this Thursday.
Ooh,
So
that'll be fun to go watch.
Ellensburg is always battle tested because that's CWAC league with Toppenish, who if they don't win state, they're always like top 2, top 3. Toppenish is very good. Sela's been good in the past. Obviously, Ellensburg's been good. Just that entire I-82 corridor. Then, of course, you got the Spokane League, like the Cheneys. They're seems like week in and week out, Ellensburg is tested by their own backyard, I guess you could say. So to be able to showcase that in Puyallup with a bunch of new kids that you're probably not going to, the only time you would see them again is
Tacoma
Matt Classic, which is one of the greatest events, bar none.
Does Ellensburg still have the drop down lights for the championship rounds?
What's that?
The drop down lights they have in their gym.
The last Ellensburg match I've been to, they do.
yeah,
If
the Ray
you-
Westberg invite they do. Do they do that at all?
I
All the
thought-
home matches?
Well, maybe
We'll
not.
find out on Thursday.
I know that for a
Yeah.
fact. If you haven't gone to a wrestling match, and
It's really cool.
it's fun, and especially when they drop those down, the gym goes dark,
Yeah,
and they have that championship match going
It's
on.
really cool.
It's pretty awesome.
it's the way it should be.
I agree. It's a cool, and I know that you'll watch fans and the parents that are wrestling for their kid in the stand that moving, they can't sit still. It's pretty awesome. Kittitas, I guess we'll go back to basketball. Well, Kittitas girls basketball, they beat Liberty Christian, but they hung with the defending state champs. Played Tri-Cities Prep on Saturday. Friday night.
Friday.
They were hanging with them through the third quarter, and the fourth quarter got out of hand. But I mean, defending state champs, Prep's a solid women's program, but the girls, it was a good show matchup, and it's unfortunate the fourth quarter got away from them.
Yeah.
Luke, I think you were there on Friday's game against Tri-Cities Prep. I know the Tri-Cities ladies, they lost their and her name is escaping me.
She
but
transferred to Chihuahua.
Yeah, but they're still incredibly good.
All right.
In fact, they're sixth man or sixth woman, the first one off the bench, number 21. I can't remember her name. Why she's not starting, I have no idea. Maybe it's just a chemistry thing or the flow of the game. But hats off to Kittitas for hanging tough. But Tri-Cities Prep, man, they're a state caliber team even without their number one player.
They'll be back to Spokane again,
They'll be back in Spokane. Yeah. Winning state, I don't know, but they'll be a threat.
right?
Yeah.
And Kittitas early in the year, taking them that deep, maybe that's a sign of things to come, and the girls keep battling out there.
Well, and I think Tuesday's game last week kind of foreshadowed that a little bit. I remember texting you guys during the girls' game, and shoot, at halftime it was 9-8 if I remember correctly, and I was thinking, man, oh man, this is going to be a bad game. And then we turned it on. I mean, our offense was nowhere to be found, but we were creating turnovers on defense, and then finally came out of the halftime much more driven on offense, and so Liberty Christian really didn't have an answer at all for us. I can't remember what the final score was, but it was pretty convincing.
The boys, they had kind of the same scenario. They beat LC Christian on last Tuesday, I believe it was, right?
Yeah.
And then they came back and lost a heartbreaker there at the end as Tri-Cities Prep on Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday. I keep saying the wrong days. I apologize.
It's all right. Basically a weekend. What's your opinion? Mercado has had his way with us.
Yeah, really. Geez, he probably scored 20 of his 27 points down low.
Yeah. If it wasn't 20, it was 19. I mean, he pretty much, the paint was his thing.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
And he's not a huge kid. He's what, 6 feet?
6 maybe. Eric knows. Eric sees him every year.
Yeah, I know. He needs to graduate.
Tell me about him. Well, where's he going again?
He's going to the University of Oregon to be a pitcher. He throws hard. He's like mid 80s, and as the season progresses in the summer, he'll be touching 90 to 94.
Wow.
And he's going to U of O, and he's an athlete. He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Kittitas gets more familiar with Coach Weeks's program, which is new to them. If it's close again against Tri-Cities Prep, which it will be, you could easily convince me that we're going to get the dub down there. So we got a few weeks to go before we have to worry about that, though.
That's absolutely. Well, if you guys got to get to Kittitas Friday night, they host Mabton. I think it's safe to say that's a pretty heated game planned out already, because I know in the past few years that game's always been extracurriculars outside of the game. It's always
Some
been
chirping going on.
chirping on the court, in the stands.
And in the stands, definitely.
A lot in the stands. There's no love lost between Mabton and Kittitas. I think that's gone back to since when my dad played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't much love lost between those two schools.
I will admit to being a homer a little bit, but I will admit a lot to being a homer. But it's been a little rough. I do know that our wonderful police department, Kittitas, they've just maybe had a presence at the game. Just popping in, saying hi. Just being deter any. Trash talking is one thing, but anytime you can deter something that goes beyond that, that's good. So
absolutely, and not to mention you got something to watch there, and it's going to be a good game. I mean, Mabton's always a quick, fast team that can score a lot, and I think there won't be any shortage of energy in that gym between Kittitas.
I'm looking forward to it.
Play.
Yep.
Kittitas Wrestling had a great weekend. Also, they were at the Tony Saldivar Ironman Granger tournament on Saturday. My notes are saying they finished 5th out of everybody in that tournament.
Yeah, it was a tournament that showcased a lot of 1A and 2A teams, and like we were talking about, Toppenish being an incredibly good wrestling program. So was Granger and Zilla.
Forks and Riverside all finished above Kittitas.
What's that?
Sorry,
Forks?
Yeah, Forks and Riverside.
Forks made the trip.
They made the trip, and those are the teams that Kittitas lost to.
Okay. And if you're going to talk about wrestling and a good showing against a bunch of good teams, we're recording this on a Tuesday. So tomorrow, Wednesday, 4:00, Kittitas Express at home. So there will be about 6 or 7 teams there, I believe, as well, all through North Central Washington. Or Central Washington. So Lower Valley and up north there in the Wenatchee area.
Well, shoot, I'm seeing all the teams that Kittitas beat. I mean, there's East Valley, Yakima, Prosser, Riverside, Oregon, which is an Oregon school, Eisenhower, Highland, Goldendale. Even if it is their JVs coming from those schools, those JVs are pretty darn. I mean, they're.
Well, yeah, you mentioned like Eisenhower, one of the bigger 4A schools in the entire state. So their JV program is going to be pretty darn good.
Compete at any level. Yeah. And that was great to see them. And you get out to Kittitas Wednesday night, I'm going to be there.
I'll be there too.
I haven't told my wife yet, but I'm going to be at Kittitas.
Yep.
Supporting the Coyotes. And
Is that 4 p.m.?
4:00, be there, be square.
Dang right. What do they call a kick? It's not a kickoff, obviously. First pitch. What's a wrestling? Is it first bout? First bout's at 4:00.
Geez,
First match.
Match. Bout would be wrestling. I don't think there. Okay, Central Washington University Wildcats had a couple games here come up. It was on Saturday night? Saturday night.
Saturday.
We went. I apologize to all the people around us because Ellie made her presence known, my daughter, by everybody
She was
around.
loud and boisterous.
Yeah, she was all over the place. We tried to contain her. I still can't say that school's name.
Multnomah.
Found out their school in Portland, the school population is only like 350.
Really?
Yeah. When I was surprised, I figured they'd be a little bigger than that.
They played Eastern the night before.
Yeah, and Eastern beat them 140 to 80 or so, 70 or something like that.
That was close until tip-off.
Yeah,
pretty close.
It was. They had it right until tip-off. But I will
108
say,
on them?
We did, yeah. And that team was averaging 104 points coming in.
Yeah.
To they could shoot. They were pretty impressive. They didn't miss much, and they had their point guard, I think, finished with 34 points.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't miss much. And it was entertaining to watch, and the fact that they wouldn't be put it past them to go past half court 2 steps and let her fly. And that was just how they did it. And I think that school, if they have an off shooting night, they're not going to win a lot of games, but they do shoot, they're going to win a lot. But Central looked pretty good. You know, they took care of business and beat the team they should have that night. And they get to play Linfield tonight, 5:15. So you got a little bit of time to get dinner and get there. I know Luke's probably heading there. And and hopefully they take care of business. I know Linfield was at the Palace today while I was at lunch eating. So they're here. The girls' team, I wish I could have stuck around for that one, but we had to take off because of Ellie announcing her presence to the whole
Way to
gym.
throw your own daughter under the bus.
Yes.
It's classy.
Yeah, someday she'll look
I'd be
back.
lying if I said as a parent I've never blamed my kids for something.
Right.
So, yeah.
Hey, but props to the guy in the corner that eliminated the golf ball from entering the floor of play because she actually grabbed hold of it in the matter of seconds.
Really?
It was great. But it's a fun family place. Take your kids. It's a good spot. The girls played after the boys that night, and they beat Cal State LA 75-52. They play Academy of Art tonight after the boys game, and then Saturday they play Northwest Nazarene.
The thing I like about the Cal State LA and then tonight's game, again, we're recording on Tuesday, but the thing I like about those 2 games, Cal State LA and Academy of Art, West Region teams. Cal State LA is CCAA and Academy of Art is Pac West, and so when we're talking about playoff seeding and regional rankings, we're going to look at these kind of games, and that's a big deal. So, Coach has scheduled them. Coach Randy has scheduled them pretty well. It's a good schedule this year.
Well, I don't know if we've covered this yet, and slap me across the face if we have. For those of the listeners who don't know, in the Central and the whole how the whole seeding for the playoffs work, they need to win those games. They need to win the West Coast games because I'm not 100% on basketball. I know football is not, but baseball just got their first seed to regionals, guaranteed. So if you don't, you got to go and win these non-league games against the coast or the Pac. What's the conference in California you were talking about just now?
The CCAA. And the
you got to win those
yeah.
games to make sure you're ranked high enough in the regionals so you can guarantee yourself a playoff spot. Keep things in your hands.
A playoff spot, or at least a good seed. There's those LA teams or those CCAA teams they're always really, really good. Let's just will we be hosting the regional? Gosh, that'd be great.
It's fun.
Let's just take care of business. Beat Academy of Art, beat Northwest Nazarene, win the GNAC. See how things play out there.
That's right. Win your conference, let it go from there. I believe that wraps up our scoreboard for this week. And brought to you by
the only plug I'm going to say, pardon me to interrupt you.
You're good.
Is it's next weekend after Christmas. I cannot believe next weekend is after Christmas. But Kittitas has their annual holiday tournament.
Right.
Usually it's been at Central. This year we're hosting it in K-Town.
Yes.
Teams from Kittitas boys and girls are playing both nights, Saturday and Sunday. Cleveland boys and girls, I think, each have a game one of the days, and but then we get to see some teams that we don't normally see, so I like that. So that's all day on Saturday and all day on Friday, the 27th and 28th. So there's not much going on except a food hangover or a gift hangover from Christmas, or maybe just a hangover from Christmas. I don't know.
Depends on where you're at.
Then come on down to Kittitas, watch some good basketball.
Absolutely. It'll be a lot of fun. Might as well. Yeah. Well, that wraps up a scoreboard by Fitterers Furniture. We'll be right back with our Christmas version of Would You Rather.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, folks, we'll be right back. All right, folks. I don't know if the proper entry would be ho, 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 because it's Christmas time and it's Would You Rather time. We're still looking for the sponsor of this particular segment, so let us know. But Christmas time, we're all about to venture through whoever knows what of the counties and state and this nation to go see families.
That's right.
And we're going to go do fun things with our families. And so we got some questions about what you guys do and what would you rather do.
Would you rather ho, ho, ho edition?
I should have got my Santa hat out. Dang it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to start with this one first. It was our second one on the list, but I feel like we need to flow.
I'm feeling
so, NBA game on TV or a football game on TV? Christmas Day.
Football.
It's like the Hawaii Bowl, right, on Christmas Day. It's not really a marquee bowl, right?
There's no NFL on.
So I'm actually going to go
Yeah.
against the grain and say NBA.
Yeah, I take that back. NBA.
I will watch football.
Because it's always
over-
like a marquee game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
gonna be the Lakers and
Nothing against the Hawaii Bowl or Hula Bowl or whatever, but it's going to be like a 7-16 versus a 7-6 team. It's not going to be. The only way I would watch it if it was the Cougs or the Huskies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say NBA.
I would rather watch 95 Mariner highlights than any NBA
Well,
game on
of
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I will go football because I don't like watching the NBA, and that's just my personal feelings.
Yeah, NBA is not my biggest. If I'm going to pick basketball to watch, I'll pick college any day.
Ooh,
There's nothing wrong with
college
NBA.
hoops on me.
Well, I mean, on TV at least.
right.
I'm not the biggest NBA fan. I'm sure if we got a Sonics team back,
Watch it.
Mr. Adam Silver, the commissioner, bring the Sonics back, but then I would be more of an NBA fan.
I'd watch a hockey game on if there was one on.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The most important one, I feel like, because
Oh yeah.
We
I'm
love
already
it.
hungry thinking about
yeah,
it.
because for our pre-show prep, we talked about how I cooked my brisket last
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
It turned out phenomenal.
Well, hold on. Wait, Luke, confirm this. We talked about it. Did you get to partake in Eric's brisket?
I did not. No.
Me neither.
Yeah, sorry. Well, there wasn't.
Thanks.
It was
But I
that good.
appreciate
There's
you
no leftovers.
Yeah, telling us how wonderful it was.
I just wanted to
Well,
give the good
He
preview.
cut half of it off.
What's that?
He cut half of it off too.
Yeah, I cut the fat off mine. I don't keep it on there. I cut it off, and I still got good flavor, and I seasoned it right and cooked it. Just
I can't even believe I'm still here.
props to
Couldn't
Coach.
even share the wealth.
Props to Coach Wood and my uncle Ron
Yeah.
Sorensen for teaching me how to cook that one.
Yeah.
All right, you got 3 choices, so it's a would you rather or. I don't know if that works. Ham, brisket, or prime rib for Christmas Day dinners.
Brisket. Just because he just recently made it.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brisket, as long as Eric's cooking it. You know what? All 3 are just incredible. But today I'm going to say prime rib.
Oh, okay. The first time we all 3 have a different answer because I'm going with like a honey glazed ham.
Wow.
Really?
Delicious. I love ham.
Oh, I mean, hey,
There's
anything that's
no
meat-
wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer. And if I could, I would go to a house that's cooking all 3.
Hey,
Yeah.
that would be phenomenal. I'm
That
kind
would
of doing that. 2 houses, prime rib over at the in-laws. I'm cooking brisket and ham here. So I will let you know if there's leftovers.
I know where you live, and I know where
Yes.
the in-laws live.
Dang right.
I'm going to invite myself.
Humbe.
Yeah, I'll bring my own
My
napkin.
friend John.
Yeah.
Come on over. Okay. You know, we have the big family traditions and the family dinners or
That's right.
whatnot, and we got to entertain ourselves one way or another. Everybody has a family game, I feel like. If you don't, you play something. There's some sort of a game.
That's right.
And, you know, in those years, you get a brand new game from Mr. Santa or Grandma.
Yep.
Would you rather play your family favorite or the new game that year?
Probably family favorite. I'd say. Yeah.
So we, what we have done, because we seem to get a new game every year, is we play the new game. You know, try it out, but we're always going to defer to the family favorite.
Hey, that's you got to. Oh, okay, that's a good answer.
And for you,
Gosh, we kind of come up with something new every year.
Yep.
The family favorite, I go with that. Usually a good game of hearts.
Yep.
Gets pretty intense.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm always a traditionalist guy.
Yep.
So I'll go with the family favorite. What is your guys' game?
We don't play a game. I was just.
Luke
I
doesn't.
just had to say if we had that. But yeah, we don't really do any sort of card games. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future.
Something.
But if
After
it was,
you get married,
if we
start your family. And
if we had card games, I'd definitely. You want to do the family tradition? I'd
Yeah.
say, yeah.
family favorite in the at the Goodat estate is when it's just me and my 3 girls, my wife and my 2 daughters. The family favorites are either Big Two, which is a card game, or Code Names, which is a board game, I guess. If we're going extended family, Monopoly. Just old school, tried and true Monopoly game. And what about for you? I want to say something else to that, but I want to hear your answer first.
So our game, well,
You said
Hearts.
Yeah.
And this was we haven't done this one in a while, but it's because we're all over the place now because all the cousins are older.
Yeah.
But we would do an Olympics of who knows what games.
Really?
And my late uncle Joe Shannon, insurance agency,
Yep.
country company. So go check them out. My cousin Devin's there, and my aunt Carol. They're running the place. But we would do an Olympics. And I remember I was on his team the last year. He was around. Oh my God, we had so much fun. We were
Really?
shooting rubber bands at like cans stacked up, and one year you had to stack 3 golf balls on top of each other.
Can you do that?
Apparently, because my Uncle Ron did it in like 5 seconds. And I told him this year that we're doing that same one again, and he's getting my practice golf balls that are all nicked up, and so he can't do it.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty proud of that, which it's a very big accomplishment.
Before we got back on the air, we were talking about, you had mentioned who's the biggest cheat.
Yes.
Who's the problem? Who's the one you said?
You have to keep all eyes on this person. If
And
you're
their
playing,
hands have to be above the table.
And when you're playing cards, you don't sit next to them, and if you are, you're behind them.
I will fully admit, I will completely admit that it is 100% me.
Yeah.
I don't say cheat. I don't cheat.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's right. You're not trying hard enough.
Right.
So when we're playing Monopoly, I just negotiate the heck out of every turn. Like I can't have the dice in my hand and not try to buy something, sell something, get some for free. So like we've had to make a rule that you have to have all your money in sight, because I would like hide my money in my pockets because it's nobody's business how much money I have, right? So if it's time to make a deal, I'm like, oh, I do have a couple of extra 500s. So, but now my wife, my 2 daughters, my brother-in-law, they never. I always lose in Monopoly now because not one person will negotiate with me. So I don't cheat, but I'm the problem child.
That's hilarious. We need to be playing Monopoly while we do this one time
Yeah.
with the camera on John, so we can go back.
Yeah.
And look at John.
Yeah, like the security camera on me. Yeah,
That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Definitely my dad.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. He's he's well known for that. My mom gets so mad at him.
Does she really? Does she really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, we haven't played in a while, but yeah, he's really competitive, so, and my mom's competitive too, so yeah, they get going when there's cards involved.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Who's the criminal at the Sorensen
Well,
household?
it is. You can't blame us because it's in our genetics of card games.
Right.
My grandma Jay, she would run Hearthstone,
Really?
the retirement community, and their card games for candy.
Yeah.
And that's just the stories I've been hearing about. She's gone now a long time ago, but yeah, she used to make sure there was an ace up her sleeve at all times, and I took the tradition on. And I think my sisters, I have 3 of them.
That's awesome.
They make sure I'm pretty well behaved. But the current one, you don't trust, and it's stupid because he doesn't need to do this because he's the luckiest person. He'll go to any arcade, any fair, and win the biggest prize because he's that lucky.
Yeah.
And it's just, but cousin Nate Sorensen,
Really?
he don't trust him with anybody's cards. He knows exactly what's in your hand if you're sitting next to him at all times. And it just adds a little more fun element to the game.
If you're blatantly like not holding your cards close to you, then you deserve
that.
to lose.
Absolutely.
But Nate's got wandering eyes, huh?
He stretches a lot. And if you're on the camera, he's
Oh,
going,
gosh.
"Yes, what's going on?" And I'm
Thrown
kind of excited.
under the bus, Nate. Thrown under the bus.
We're all, my cousin Aaron's bringing his new fiance to Christmas this year, I believe, and Paige is aware of Nate's how he plays games. So
Yeah.
it'll be a lot of fun. I'm trying to come up with new games, and if you guys have one, we'll put a post on Facebook.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's hear some new games because we're hosting Christmas at the Sorensen house on Christmas Day, and I need some game ideas. And so we got Hungry Hippos purchased this year.
Oh, yeah.
Paige bought that last night.
Ellie's going to like that?
She's already loves it, and as long as she doesn't break it before Christmas, it's
Yeah.
going to be a great thing. And
So you're hosting, and I can't tell. Did you say yes, you're going to cook prime rib, brisket, and ham? Did I hear that right?
I got brisket and ham. My in-laws are doing
I just want you to cook all 3, and I want to be invited. That's all I want.
my father-in-law doesn't mean prime rib. Just want to throw that out there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mama Julie's going to bring the desserts this year. She doesn't know it yet, but we're going to ask her to do that. And
Well, I can't wait for leftovers when we have our podcast next.
The leftover podcast. That's what we'll call it.
Dude, we should do a feast. We could do that. I don't care. Yeah. Because we'll probably be doing it 2 days after Christmas when we record next week. It's going to throw a wrinkle in what we're doing. We'll keep it a surprise.
We'll figure out a way to do it because that's our commitment.
We are for the people.
Yep.
And their knowledge of kids.
We're for the people. You sound like we're on a campaign now.
Yeah, it's getting close to the campaign time. So,
Yeah.
well, before we leave for Christmas, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Appreciate our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put that question out there. So we want to
Please let us know.
know your traditions. We want to know your games, and we're going to talk about it.
So John can cheat. He can learn the
That's right.
new ways to
Yeah.
cheat. Yeah.
We only got a few days to practice up. So
Yeah.
That's right.
I expect to hear from, who's our regular ones? We hear from Jeff Gay.
That's right.
Next, calling you out.
He'll be in there. Yeah.
Sorry. And
Well, Merry Christmas to the both of you.
Merry Christmas to you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
And Merry
Yep.
Christmas to all the listeners out there. And Merry Christmas to Fitterers Furniture. Go check them out for your Fitterers Christmas gifts. And we'll be back next week, fat, happy, and full of joy.
Yep.
We're going to leave with as we started. And I'm sorry I'm a little late on the delay here. A little
Got to
Austin
get that
Jenks.
queued up. There we go.
Austin Jenks here.
It's a good way to ride it out.
That's right, baby. So long, folks. Be kind.